Hey everybody, happy spooky Friday night. I thought I would take the time tonight to put together a tutorial video for you. Some of the things, if you watched my Halloween home tour, you would have seen some of the things in the home tour, like this tree right here behind me, the skeletons, and the Poe and his wife picture up at the top there. I'm going to show you quickly how to do some of those things, and it's sped up. I'm new. I've only done a couple of videos where I've sped up things like this, but I think I could talk you through it, and as long as you can see what I'm doing, I think you'll be okay. If you have any questions, let me know. Let's get started. Thank you guys for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Okay, so here's my shelf that I got at Salvation Army over the summer. It has this white paint on it and these flowers, which I need to get rid of. And the flowers have a little bit of texture to them, so I am sanding those down and trying to, smooth it out as much as I can. And I'm cleaning it and wiping it as I go. I'm going to take this folk art black chalk paint, and I'm going to cover all the parts that were originally white with the flowers on it. It's going to take me a little while to cover the whole thing, but it ends up coming out really nice in the end. I just want you to see how it does come out, and how this shelf goes from being something that was only like $4 at Salvation Army to something that looks really good in the end. I'll use this for other things other than Halloween too. I can picture it being good for Christmas or even Easter, other times of the year. The only thing that's a little bit weird about it, and I didn't even think of it until after I got started, was that middle shelf is really short compared to the other two shelves, but I can work with it. So I put some tape on there to keep it from getting on the actual shelves, because I don't want to repaint those. I do cover them with some Waverly dark chalk, dark wax here in a little bit once I'm done painting it. So just getting it covered really good. I think I end up putting probably 2 coats of paint on it in the end, before it's all said and done. But I'm also using a really small paintbrush, which I don't know why, but sometimes I do that, and then I don't even notice that I'm using a small paintbrush until, I'm like, oh, this is taking me way longer than it needs to. I could have had this done hours ago. Plus, this was really early in the morning, drinking my coffee. Nobody else is awake yet, so sometimes I do that. I like to get up early in the morning before everybody else is up, or I'll take a all-nighter and stay up all night working on a project. While I'm waiting for that paint to dry, I'm going to take this candlestick holder here, and I'm going to paint that and then let it dry in between coats for this, and use it in some of my displays also. So here I took some of those Dollar Tree lights, and I taped it to the inside of the shelf, and it's going to come out really nice like that. But I took it back off, and here I'm putting that chalk paint on it because I felt like the brown just wasn't the right color of brown. It looked kind of reddish once it had all the paint on it. But here you go. Here's what it looks like when it is all painted. I really like how it came out, and it's got like some of my Frankenstein type stuff on it. My eyeball. I made that eyeball in that cloche on the top shelf, and the finger. And I really like the shelf. I think it's interesting in my kitchen, and it gives you something to look at while you're standing there at my island waiting for me to cook you a meal. What do you think? And here's the candlestick that I painted. You can see how I'm using it. I put this birdcage on top of it with a crow or a raven inside of it. This bird came from Target this year. Only because I ran out of all the other birds that I have. I used them all before I got to finishing this project. I think it came out cute and kind of mystical. Okay, now this is a Final Faction character. You can pick these up at the Dollar Tree. You don't have to use a Final Faction character. It just so happens that that's what I had, and I thought it would be the perfect size for what I needed. So I'm taking a razor blade and I'm cutting the back of his knees. I'm so mean. But I'm trying to make it so that his really thick hard plastic legs will bend like he's sitting on a horse. Okay, and this is one of those pumpkins that you get on a stick at Dollar Tree. They're little glittery pumpkins. They're real small, like the size of the end of your thumb. I'm going to use that for this, and I'm going to take this Final Faction guy, and I'm going to paint him with some chalk paint. I don't show it here. I thought I had it on camera, but first I cleaned him really good with some acetone because, oh, there we go. See, when I was trying to paint it, it was like the paint was like separating really weird, like he's covered in some kind of oily substance or something. So I'm cleaning it really good with some acetone first to make the paint stick a little bit better, and it did seem to work. So I give him a coat of the gray chalk paint, and then I go back over it with a couple different colors of brown. I'm trying to match the same color of brown that's on my big clock in my living room. So he'll look like he's part of the clock when I'm finished with it. Okay, now here, I took a piece of brown felt and put it up to his back, and I cut it out in the shape of a cape because I'm trying to make the Headless Horseman here. So the Headless Horseman wore a cape, so I want to make a cape, and I'm putting a little bit of paint on it also so it doesn't just look like a piece of felt stuck to the back of my guy's back. I'm trying to make it look like it's all one cohesive piece. So I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. Let me know what you think. So here I'm using some of those Dollar Tree clips, and I'm actually just kind of hooking it around a glue stick because a glue stick was about the size of my Final Faction guy's neck. So I put a little glue on there to hold it, and I'm holding it with the clips together, adding a little bit more paint to it. Now I'm painting the one of those little pumpkins, and I'm going to make it look like a jack-o'-lantern. The part that's glittery I'll just leave, and that'll be the mouth part and the eyes so that it looks like a jack-o'-lantern that's glowing. I think it came across pretty good. See, there we go. That's how it came out. I really think it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. That's one of my favorite projects I've done this year. So here I'm taking I don't know if you guys remember, but Dollar Tree used to sell these crows, and they don't anymore, which they definitely should start selling those again. It was one of my favorite things that they used to have. But this one was completely dusty because I had it up at my work for like 3 years without taking it down, just because, you know, I like Halloween like that, and my work's really dusty. So I brought it home, and I gave it a good paint job, and I stuck it inside this old birdcage thing that I found that was like wall art. I don't know if it came from like Michael's or something a long time ago, but the picture on it was like really faded. So I put my crow inside of it on a stick that I painted black, and I actually took the picture that was in the back of it and covered it with the wrong side of some of that foily wrapping paper that you can get at Dollar Tree so that it would look like just mirror in the back. Because I've seen those bird cages with just mirror in the back before where you put them on the wall and they're flat to the wall and they're really neat looking. And I saw that at a boutique and I liked that, and that's what gave me the idea for this. And I kind of like how it looks. It came out good with my Poe theme for my dining room. So here's one more Poe project. I had this picture of Poe and his wife. And it didn't quite fit on this, you know, little metal tray that you can get from Dollar Tree, which I'm using as the frame. So I cut the two people apart, and I'm going to glue them back together so that they fit on the inside of this. And I'm going to try to make it a little bit three-dimensional. I take her hand. You can see that her hand's cut off there, but I saved it. Now, when I put it back in there, I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. You'll see what I mean here in a second. So I'm going to glue her kind of on top of him so they're standing closer together like that. And then there's her hand. That's what that little piece of paper was that I just had. Okay, taking some glue stick because I think that works the best for these kind of projects. You'll get less wrinkles and stuff. But, you know, this is probably a one-year project for me. I'll probably throw this away at the end of the year. I like to have a few projects like that for Halloween that, you know, just fit my theme, and then, you know, I didn't spend much money on it, so it's not a big deal if I get rid of it. Okay, so here I'm figuring out how this is going to work. I cut this, you know, I have this brown piece of paper, this like off-white brown looking paper, and this was one of my husband's old records. He replaces those things, that the sleeves that the records go in, and this one just so happened to look like it belonged to somebody who was a smoker or something, so it was very brown and like, you know, uneven brown, which made it kind of interesting looking for what I wanted for this project, because I wanted it to look kind of old. So that's what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm working out my details, working it out, trying to figure out how I'm going to line this all up. Okay, here we go. I got them in there. Okay, I'm putting the border on, gluing it all down. Okay, gluing it down. All right, see, and there's an arm sticking up. Okay, and see how I stuck her hat on the outside of the trim, outside of the border? I thought that would be kind of neat. Okay, so I'm making it fit, cutting it so it fits. Okay, see her arm, how it looks like it's cut off. I'm putting some three-dimensional tape underneath of it, some puffy tape, so that her arm looks like it's sticking up, and then I stuck her hand on the outside of that. I'm going around the whole thing with a little bit of black paint, make it look a little bit older, and it also covers up the seams where I joined everything together. And I think here in a few seconds I add, okay, I'm going to add some, you know, not pipe cleaner. What do we call it? If it's not pipe cleaner, you know what I mean. Pipe cleaner, but that's not the brand. I take it and I fit it around the outside here. And what I do to make it look older, I don't know if you've ever seen old pipe cleaners like in the antique store and stuff, but the fringy part on it is like hardly there. It barely sticks off of the wire. So I'm cutting it all off. Okay, like that. Leaves little glittery pieces everywhere. And then I take a little bit of, you know, paint or dark wax, and I go over the pipe cleaner. I didn't show me doing that, but it makes it look a little bit more tarnished. And then I glue it down to the inside of this, like that, to make another little border trim, just to add a little sparkle to the top of the tree where I put this. Cutting it and gluing it. And about here's where my glue gun decides it's going to quit on me here in a minute too, that I need to replace it now. It's like it will not, I pull the trigger and it will not squirt glue out. I don't know what happened inside this thing. Oh, and if you take your paintbrush with just a tiny bit of paint on it, like I was just doing there, where I joined up the pictures, it makes it so that you can't see that it's not all one picture. It like covers up the fact that you cut it. You know, the white spots where you cut the paper, it makes it go away. So that's a good idea to try. And then I go back over it a little bit more, adding final details. I know it looks a little bit rough, but I wanted it to look really old and, you know, interesting looking for the top of the tree. Trying to figure out what kind of flowers I can add on here to add a little more three-dimensional effect. I don't remember what flower I ended up finding for this. I think I popped one off of a Dollar Tree floral batch, and I painted it so that it would be brown. Yeah, that's what it was. It was like a little daisy type of flower, and I painted it with some brown paint. I don't even wait for it to dry. I just stick that sucker right on there. There we go. Stuck on there. Flower. Boom. Okay, on the back of it, I'm going to add a little hanger. It's just a piece of ribbon. Take ribbon, glue it down, and then I took a piece of that leftover paper that I was using and glued on top of that. I think it adds just a little bit more support. And I do go around the outside of it because it's not completely flat on the back. So the parts that like raise up a little bit, if you're standing on the side of my tree, I wanted that to be black also. So that project is complete. So I have another thing here that I'm starting on. This goes on the same tree that I'm working on. These are the skeleton, the skulls that you can get at Dollar Tree. They come in the, I think it's a pack of, I think it's either 6 or 8. I never can remember how many's in there. but I had several packs of them left over from several years, but this is a thing that they always have. Well, for now. You say that. They used to always have those crows too, and now they don't have them anymore. So you never know when they're going to stop having something. But now, okay, on this one, I was trying something different. I tried taking some scraps of toilet paper and tissue and putting on there and just using Mod Podge mixed with a little bit of brown paint. Now, I did several of these. I'm out of the frame, you know. That's just me. Sorry. But, I'm just Mod Podging that stuff on there. But I did try, some tan tissue paper, and if you can find some tan tissue paper, do that. It comes out way better. Sorry, I had to get a drink. Hopefully you couldn't hear me swallow. But I go back and I do add a little bit of black detail to these once they're dry, and cut a hole in the back of it with a razor and stick your pencil through it before you try putting it on your light. That way it'll shape that plastic in the back how you want it. And here I'm going to show you what it looks like on the tree. Okay, there we go. I think they're cute, kind of creepy looking. The light pops through the back of it. You could put any color light in there, purple, you know, orange, white, whatever you want. And just hang them all over your tree. That wouldn't have to be a Edgar Allan Poe themed tree. It could be just creepy skull tree or something. I think it's pretty cool looking. What do you think? And I really liked, I needed something to lighten up my tree in the dining room. This is a tree that I have in here for every occasion. I'd have it decorated all year long, not just for Halloween, but sometimes I'll have a beach theme on it. You never know what I have on it. My mother-in-law gave it to me before she passed away. She had it forever, and it's starting to get pretty worn out now, but I do still love it, so I will be keeping it for all the holidays. Well, I hope you liked the projects that I showed you how to do, and I hope you will try some of these projects too. And if you do, add a clip of your what you did down in my you know, in my comments. I'd like to see, you know, I'd like to get more comments. Please, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.